David was a newcomer to the city, working at a travel office. Every day, he commuted to work on his bike, taking a mysterious and desolate road, an eerie stretch of land where for nearly 10 kilometers not a single soul could be seen. The road felt unnatural, almost cursed, but he had no choice. It was the fastest route. One fateful evening, David had to stay late at the office due to an overwhelming workload. By the time he left, the sky had turned a menacing shade of black. The storm raged above, bringing heavy rain and violent winds. As he pedaled toward home, he noticed something unsettling. The already isolated road was now completely blocked by a massive fallen tree. There was no way forward. Shivering from the cold and drenched by the rain, David felt an eerie presence around him. Then, through the curtain of rain, he saw her, an old woman slowly making her way along the deserted road. Something about her seemed off. Her frail frame, her slow but deliberate movements, the way her face was partly hidden by the shadows. Desperate for shelter, David approached her. "Excuse me, is there a hotel nearby where I can stay?" he asked. The old woman turned to him, her lips curling into a faint, unnatural smile. Her eyes gleamed in the dark as she pointed down a path leading into the unknown. Then, without a word, she let out a soft chuckle, a sound that sent chills down his spine. A sudden gust of wind blew past him, and when he looked back, she was gone. Confused and unmoved, David hesitated, but decided to follow the direction she had given. After several minutes, he arrived at a decrepit old villa, standing alone amidst the storm. It looked abandoned, its wooden exterior worn by time, but the warm glow of candlelight flickered inside. He had no choice. The storm had worsened, and the cold was really unbearable. Pushing down the heavy door, he stepped inside. At the reception desk sat a middle-aged woman with an unnerving presence. Her face was sharp and fox-like, her yellow eyes gleaming like a predator's. She smiled, revealing sharp teeth that sent a shiver down his spine. "Can I get a room for the night? And dinner if possible?" David asked hesitantly. "Of course," she replied, her voice smooth yet chilling. "Why not?" She chuckled lightly, an echo of the old woman's laugh. David was led to his room, which was surprisingly neat. The only odd thing was the lack of electricity. Only candles provided dim, flickering light. After drying off, he heard a knock at the door. The same old woman stood there holding a tray with his dinner. "Eat well," she said, grinning. "Think of it as your final meal." Then, without another word, she walked away, her laughter lingering in the hallway. Uneasy but exhausted, David ate quickly and lay down. Midnight struck. The storm outside had calmed, but inside, the air grew unnaturally cold. Then, he felt it, an eerie sensation as if someone else was in the room with him. His breath hitched, his skin prickled. He scanned the room but saw nothing. Just as he tried to dismiss the feeling, his eyes drifted to the ceiling. A pair of glowing red eyes stared back at him. His heart pounded in terror. The creature was perched on the roof, its form shadowy and grotesque. It moved slowly, menacingly, descending toward him. David grabbed the nearest candle and threw it, but the flame merely flickered out before reaching the creature. The entire crept closer, its breath cold against his skin. The door wouldn't budge. His screams were swallowed by the darkness. Desperate, his hands fumbled across the bookshelf. He hurled books at the entity. Nothing worked. Then his fingers found something. A Bible. With every ounce of strength, he flung it at the creature. The moment it struck, the red eyes flickered violently, like a failing light bulb. A guttural inhuman screech filled the air as every candle in the room extinguished at once. And then, silence. The next morning was bright and clear. The storm had passed, but David was gone. His wife and friends searched for him tirelessly. They found only his motorbike abandoned 2 kilometers away from the road. To this day, on dark, stormy nights, travelers claim to see the same old woman walking that lonely road, laughing softly in the rain.